Welcome back to Video Today's video, playing Planet Coaster. In today's video, we're going to be continuing on expanding to our water park by adding in 2 new slides. We aren't going to be doing these slides yet. We'll do those in our episode, but we put in these 2 slides. We'll do the pool form, but we're only going to do this tube slide here. The bigger tube slide that leads into the funnel here, this will leave for another episode when we actually work on this side of the park, but we will finish the pool. So, for our tube slide here, entrance is right here in the pool complex. Come up the stairs, hop in your raft, go down a completely enclosed tunnel just to the left, rotates 90 degrees, and then you go into, what is this called? A return. That's what it's called in the game. Probably has a proper name in real life, but I don't really pay attention to water park stuff too much, so yeah, you just go up it and then you fall back through here, and then you then go into the pool backwards. Then for our funnel, it's kind of basically the same thing, but instead you just drop down a small little drop, you go into a turn 180 degrees, and then you go into the big funnel, and then you funnel down into here, where you then go into the pool. And the same trick with it being closed, since why the people immediately leave. 2, and then we have 1 lifeguard on this pool. That would be enough for it. I mean, there would probably be some lifeguards inside the actual pool for rafts. Because these bigger rafts, I would probably have a conveyor delivering them back up to the station, but we don't have any of that inside of Planet Coaster, so I'm just gonna be stuck with them carrying it, I guess. Even though these rafts, I think they weigh something like 200 pounds, or no, there's no way they weigh 200 pounds, but they aren't exactly light, so they wouldn't really want to be having them be carried. And so I mean, there is that 1 lifeguard, but it's only 2 slots, so obviously most likely only 1 raft will be going into the pool at once. And even if, say, someone then gets stuck, it's only 1 person, and maybe a max like 8 people can actually get put into the pool at once. But yeah, that's enough rambling for me. We also will do the gift shop in here, so our Splash Emporium, and then also our first tube shed or area to collect them. We'll have 1 here, probably 1 over here, and then probably another over here. So we'll have 3. Water Park's pretty small, so that would be plenty. And this side will be a lot more slides, but they're going to be an insane amount. I believe, as of now, for what I'm planning, it's just going to be maybe these 3 and Lazy River, and then maybe another one that will actually be using the normal little tubes. And then this is going to be the only one using these bigger tubes. But yeah, like I said earlier, it's enough rambling from me. I'll show you the final product in just a little bit. Alrighty, so I finished the build. Obviously, we did get a pretty good amount done. The water park will probably end up being actually no, I think we're gonna stick with the 4 episode timeline, maybe a 5th right now. We have that kind of planned out for where we're doing all the areas. I'll talk about that in a minute though. But here's our gift shop. It's named the Splash Emporium. We got a couple shelves in here, nothing too much. It's a pretty small gift shop. Got a little back room here. 2 registers, little line set up there. And then we have an entrance, a little back entrance over here inside the reverse pool, and also our big tube slide pool or funnel. I don't know what it's going to be called yet. But that's right, I did say the name for our slide. That is called reverse, because the main element of it is a reverse. So, but I'll come back over to that in a minute. Coming down our path more, we go under our one of the green slides, and then we keep on going. I didn't put really any flowers in here, specifically in here. I just wanted to leave it grass. I felt like that would be what they would do. I might put in some foliage and stuff under the slides here just because of the water leaking out. That would cause a ton of plants to grow. And the park probably wouldn't go too crazy on upkeeping that in terms of weeding and stuff in terms of getting them out. So I'll probably put a couple plants under there. But over here we have tubes. This will be one of our 3, I believe, tube stations I have planned out. Because we'll have one here, one over here, and then I might do another one in here. Or actually, no, we're only gonna have the 2. So we'll have this one here, and then we'll have a little bit of a smaller one over here. They'll be primarily for the lazy river. But this tube station has a bunch of tubes on the right and left side, and then it has a little seating area inside the center. When I was making this, I realized that this would be an insane amount of tubes, and this water park is pretty tiny for that many tubes, so figured that I would just not bother with putting them in, and I would probably have extra tubes stored away somewhere to where they could just grab more if needed at the end of the day, or if they start to run out. And I mean, this won't be the only one, there'll also be the other one, and that one will probably have a pretty similar amount of tubes to this, so yeah. And then instead of just making it perfect rows like it would be in probably the morning, I made it to where it looked like some were taken out, and purposely put this one down on the ground instead of being put up against the rest, just to make it look like it's being used and it isn't exactly the beginning of the day. And then they would also probably have double tubes in here too, because this is going to be our only double tube slide. I mean, they would have double tubes at the other one because of the lazy river, but this is our only double tube slide, so they would probably have quite a few double tubes in here, but we don't have them in game, so stuck with the single tubes for now. And then one last thing, we put in the exit only sign, and I also finished out the pool for green slides. So in the next episode, spoiler, we will be working on the green slide and the sun deck, and then the tubes here, and then I might also do the food unit. It all depends on what I can get done. And then Lazy River will have its own episode for that, but I have put in everything for it in terms of where staff will be, staff paths, and the actual Lazy River itself, and what the entrance will look like too. I have this all working just because of how low the prestige is, no one's in it. But then up here, this will be our sun deck. That's something for the next episode. So next episode we might get the food unit done, but we'll definitely get this slide complex, tubes, and sun deck done all in that episode. So basically we'll have half the water park done by the next episode. So that'll be nice. But enough yapping about the next episode. Coming into here, I put in a sign for reverse, just to kind of let people know that the reverse entrance is in here. Because, I mean, this does feel very much like an exit since it is the empty pool for 2 slides. But it does also have the reverse entrance in it. So we have our lifeguard here. 1 lifeguard would be fine, I discussed that in the beginning. Didn't really do much with the pool. I did add a foundation around the edge of it where there isn't a path. And I also put in our don't die fencing for the roller coaster down along there. I will finish that up as we work our way through the water park. But that will be something for future episodes, and then probably in like one of the last couple episodes over in the water park, I'll finish up the fencing entirely around the coaster because I didn't do it all. Or I might just do that off camera at some point. But it ain't gonna be a big thing that I'll highlight. But it's enough rambling about the coaster. Let's talk about water parks and the water slide reverse. So we have our sign there. This is just an anvil and does have the wood foundation on it, but I just sunk it into the ground. This is the way that you didn't see it. Doesn't even kind of look like an anvil. Definitely looks like a signpost, I would say. So I think it turned out pretty nicely, and then I just did the colors of the slide for the sign. We have our 1 custom support in there, and then for some reason this support did disappear, probably because of their slide, so I just put in another custom support there. And then I did also make this more realistic, and then instead of just having the 1 pillar, I put in some more around the slide tower, just to give it some kind of support structure, because I didn't feel like that would be too realistic to have just the 1 pillar in the center. I felt like that it wouldn't hold, so I just added those. And then we have our small little switchback. Then we go into the stairs. For the water park, we won't really be needing much of any queue, especially with some of these taller slides because of how long the stairs are. They shouldn't need really any queue. I did give the green slides here a good amount of queue, but I didn't really give any for reverse. It is a bit taller, or actually no, it's like the same height. So, but It's fine. But coming into here, they put a nice fence here, which there wasn't one before. Get a nice view of Tsunami. The back area won't put anything in there. View over the gift shop, just around the park. You can get a great view into the funnel right there. See where you're going. Then for the actual ride experience, just go down the tube. It's all enclosed. The curve, and then once you come out, it opens up, and then you just go up and fall back, and then you end in the pool. But yeah, that's everything I have to say. Or actually, no. So next episode we discussed all that stuff. So that'll be our 3rd episode. And then in our 4th episode, we will do the lazy river, the food unit if we don't get to it, and then also the services in here. So that'll be our 4th episode. And the 5th one will just be finishing up doing the big funnel slide. Then also the train station over here. Backstage stuff over here maybe. Or I might leave that for a backstage episode. I don't know entirely yet. And then also the train station over here. So I'll either leave the backstage stuff for that, which I mean there ain't a whole lot, because all it's really going to be, because we kind of integrated it fairly well with maintenance areas, and that we won't be needing any huge, big major, or actually wait, it's a lie. We will need a maintenance episode for the park, so and that big maintenance area will be up here. So in that episode we will do the slide and both the train stations. I'll probably also do the train stuff too over here, and then probably also the solar panels, because those will be going over here. And that will be it for this side of the park, and then we'll just have the main maintenance area episode. So that'll be our 5 episodes of the water park. As of now, that could change in the future, depending on how much we get done. But yeah, it's enough rambling for me. If you have enjoyed, make sure you subscribe. See you next one. Bye!